Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's a good day. I hope you're feeling it. So today I'm sitting on with my tea talk series that I have going here on YouTube. This series is requested videos from you guys, things that I feel like I want to talk about or whatever kind of just pops into my brain that day. So today I'm answering a question that I got asked recently, and I actually get this question quite a lot, and I used to get it a lot when I first became Muslim. But the question is, what happens if you die and you find out that there is no God? So obviously this often comes from an atheist or someone contemplating their existence and just decides, you know, maybe there isn't a God, which I kind of just want to address for you guys today. So today I'm going to sit down with some tea. I would encourage you to get some tea as well, or water or juice or whatever you like to drink. Get some popcorn, get some snacks, get whatever you want to eat. Maybe you want to eat a cultural dish, I don't know. So today I'm drinking Twinings peppermint and lime tea. I honestly don't know if I like this yet. By the way, this is my mug. It's my graduation mug because I am a university graduate. Anyways, it's really hot, so I'm not going to drink it yet. So while I wait for that to cool down, I'm going to just get straight into kind of chit-chatting about this answer. I love this series because I really just get to ramble and talk to you guys, and it feels more real and authentic and raw and like personal. So for this, I want to start by saying that I have full faith and belief that there is a God. I don't think I've actually ever in my heart doubted that there was a God in my life, because it just seems so unfathomable and, I'll be honest, quite stupid to me. I just feel like when you look at the alteration of the night and the day and the signs of the things around you in nature and the order of everything and the structure of everything, that couldn't have possibly risen from chance, and there had to be a greater power that created that. But I do entertain this question, you know, what if you do die and you do decide that there is no God? And especially when I'm asked it, I do like to have pondered over it in order to be able to give an efficient answer. So this video is kind of a discussion of what my answer would be and what my answer always has been to people that ask me that question. What if you die and you figure out that there is no God? The actual question that I got asked continued on from that question to, you would have wasted your life covering your hair and reading a book, not experiencing the craziness of life that makes it worth living. I just thought, is that really such a bad life? See, the way that I think about it, and this is as a revert, as somebody that wasn't always Muslim but who now is that this path is better to take even if, hypothetically, there is no God. And even if at the end of it, which honestly, like, astaghfirullah, like, Allah please forgive me for even saying that, even if at the end of it we do just die and there is nothingness, I just feel like this path in life is better to take even if that is the case, which I know that it's not. I have tasted life without Islam and without religion, and it's just not worthwhile. But to juxtapose that, in Islam there is a lot of rules, and that can get overwhelming for somebody who is not used to having a structured list of rules. Because even if you are an atheist, even if you don't believe in any religion that keeps you morally grounded, you are subject to rules of society, rules of legislation, and rules of the people around you. So either way, you're subject to rules. Muslims just choose to subject themselves to the rules of Islam. But anyways, Islam can be overwhelming for people because there is so many rules that are so structured and so embedded in our faith. But me, as a Muslim, I genuinely feel that all of these rules are here to benefit us, and I genuinely see the wisdom in the rules that we have, and so I don't mind following them. I actually find pleasure and joy following these rules, and I genuinely feel that every single rule in Islam helps my personal growth, and every time I implement a new rule, something new that I've learned from my religion, I grow as a person. So as for a person saying you just sit and you just read Quran, what an empty life, I sit and I read Quran, and every single time I do read Quran, I reflect on its words and I get something out of it. Something that's worth implementing into my life, something that makes me a better person, something that makes me more happy and more content and more fulfilled. Every single time I sit down and I read Quran, I grow not only as a person but also as a member of society. Now, we live in this modern world of the craze for self-help books. I use the Quran as my self-help book. I personally find it to be the most timeless and beneficial and the overall best self-help book for any human being, but especially for myself. And I find it to have been written by the one who has the most understanding of how the world works and operates, and the most understanding of how we as people and humanity works and operates. That's my personal opinion when it comes to Quran. And so the one in which I believe wrote it is obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But say hypothetically God didn't exist, which he does. Hypothetically God didn't exist. Was it so bad that I followed the commandments of a book in which was written by who I deem to be the most knowledgeable about the way that the world works and operates, in order for me to receive rules and lessons about how I can grow as a person? Is that so bad? I just feel like it's not. So hypothetically, I live and I die and there's nothing after. I have still lived a life in which I'm proud of. Like, genuinely from my heart proud of my life. I have still used my faith as a tool in order to grow and motivate and inspire myself, in order to develop myself into the best person that I can be. And I truly do believe in my heart that in Islam you're only restricted from things in order to protect you, and you're only given things in order to test you, and those tests will further develop you into a better person. You will learn lessons from them that will be invaluable for the things that are to come for your future. So when I think about things like hijab, the fact that I do have to cover myself and dress modestly, the fact that in Islam you're not supposed to pluck your eyebrows, the fact that in Islam you're not supposed to wear makeup in front of men that are not directly related to you, I genuinely deem all of these things as a protection for you. I genuinely believe that I'm being restricted from these things in order to be protected. And I have seen that because I have lived a life where I did not wear hijab, where I did pluck my eyebrows, where I did wear makeup, and I have seen the benefits that have come with being restricted in these ways. I have seen the way that men don't catcall me as often. I have seen the way in which a world that tells you that you need to pluck your eyebrows in order to be beautiful, that you need to constantly change them as trends change within society. I have personally experienced the emptiness of that. I have personally experienced the emptiness of living in a society as a female that tells you that you need to wear makeup in order to be beautiful, that you need to wear makeup in order to be valued. And I have thought, you know what, stuff this. So when Islam tells me that I don't and shouldn't be doing this, and Islam is restricting me in these areas, do I see the wisdom behind it? Yeah, I do. Do I think that that is something that further fulfills me? Yeah, I do. Do I genuinely love obeying these commands, even if it means restricting myself? Yes, I do, because I genuinely see the way in which restriction can benefit you, as opposed to endlessly following your desires and feeling an emptiness inside. Because I promise you that all of those people that just follow their every whim and desire, they're unhappy. So I deem Islam as a protection from a society that brainwashes. I deem Islam as a protection from a society that is so easy to get caught up in and forget about your purpose and forget about the things in this life that really matter. The way that you're actually impacting the world. You get so caught up in beauty, you get so caught up in clothes, you get so caught up in all of these ridiculous things that you forget what truly matters in life. And so in being restricted in these areas, I have so much more free time and have so much more understanding of the way that the world works and operates, and I genuinely overall feel more content and more happy because of it. And then again, the same can be said with the rules in Islam about no drinking, of no clubbing, no music, no backbiting. I can see the wisdom behind these things. Yes, they're rules. Yes, you're not allowed to overstep, but man, really, what is the benefit of talking behind someone's back? Really, what is the benefit of upsetting someone and saying something mean about someone that they wouldn't want you to say? Really, what is the benefit of drinking? You get so caught up in the everydayness and the mundane of life that you forget purpose. You forget what's really important, and you forget to intensely question what you're doing and why. I love living an intentional life. I love living a life where I feel like everything I do in a day is growing me and developing me and bettering me, and that I'm doing good and being good in order to have the reward of good later. I love that in every aspect, in terms of business, in terms of family life, in terms of religion. I love the feeling of intentionally doing good and being intentional about the way that I spend my time in order to have good. And so as a Muslim, as somebody that does believe that there is an afterlife, as somebody that does believe that religion and practicing your religion properly leads you to a good afterlife, that's just another thing for me that helps me to feel like I'm living a more intentional life. You see, people get so comfortable without Islam that they forget to ever develop their character. A lot of the time they're not intentional about the way that they're living. And so for me, actually for every Muslim, Islam forces you to be intentional about the things that you do on a daily basis and the way that you're living. If you are following Islam properly, you will be a more intentional person. You will do things with purpose. Islam forces you to be mindful, to thrive, to do better, and to be better in order to have the reward of better later. So if I die and I find out that Islam isn't the truth, that there's no God, which I know that that's never going to happen, but if that did, in a hypothetical world, I would have spent my life helping the world a little bit. I would have fed and clothed the poor because my faith told me to. I would have provided hundreds of people with fresh water because I'm striving for good in the next life. I would have committed random acts of kindness that may have inspired other people to do the same thing. I would have rid myself of jealousy and envy and hatred, and I would have replaced that with forgiveness and gratitude. So in a hypothetical world, if I was on my deathbed and for some reason I didn't see the angel of death hovering over me ready to pull my soul from my body, then I would still feel contentment, and I would still be so wholly and completely happy with the way that I have lived. But I can't help but wonder about the atheists. When an atheist is on their deathbed and in a real life world, they see the angel of death hovering over them, waiting to tear their soul from their body. How are they gonna feel? I read a quote years ago and it really stuck with me, and it was, if we both die and we realize that there is no God, then neither of us would have lost because there is nothingness. But if we die and we realize that there is a God, then I would like to have won by believing. And it's unfortunate that you would have done yourself a disservice by not believing. And I don't know. That's just my answer to that question. If you did enjoy this video, then I'm sure you're going to enjoy the rest of my TikTok series. I'll link them in the end card at the end of this video and also down below. Make sure you subscribe and like this video so that I know that you enjoyed it. Turn your post notifications on so that you don't miss an upload. And with that being said, I'm just gonna go now. Bye.